Time is your greatest friend here. And if you get in the game, you're going to win. And you need to get in the game now, not wait till your business is successful.
You have to own assets that make you money while you sleep, that grow while you sleep. And the challenge for most of America is that this stuff is not taught in school.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life. Out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh. That believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn how to become a millionaire. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, become an owner with Tony Robbins.
There's a lot of talk about control in the book. What is the one thing that you want people to understand about control? And they feel out of control, they feel they don't understand the stock market. Like, what's the one message you want people to take home around control?
I think it's that you have to become an owner and not just a consumer. You have to take a percentage of what you earn, as simplistic as it sounds, and automate it so it comes off the top of what you earn. There's a gentleman that worked for UPS. His name's Theodore, and Theodore Robinson was this guy who never made more than $14,000 a year. And yet he retired with $70 million and gave away $35 million while he was alive. How did he do it? He became an owner. His best friend said to him, listen to me, the most important thing in your life is we're going to put a wealth tax on you. He goes, wealth tax? I make $14,000 a year. He goes, we're going to make you wealthy with this tax. It's not a government tax. It's a tax for yourself. So we're going to take 20% of what you earn and put it in an investment account, let it build up. He said, I can't afford that. He goes, once it's automated, you won't notice. That's all he did that made him $70 million. So it's like, people have to understand that no matter how good you are in business, we all need a second business with no employees, and it takes very little time. Something that once you do your homework should take you, 15 minutes to an hour twice a year to rebalance perhaps.
What would you tell the startup entrepreneur who maybe is just getting started or maybe still has a full-time job and it feels like every dollar that they're making, they're just trying to build their business at the moment, they haven't cashed out yet? Should they be investing into their business? Should they still be saving some and put into the market? What would you tell that person?
I think you have to put something outside your business, because what's the #1 rule of investing that even idiots understand? Don't pull all your eggs in one basket, right? And what do 90% of entrepreneurs do? Because of the illusion of control, they go, I'm going to put all my money in my business. Don't get me wrong. It's still a great place for your money and for your time and for your energy. But you got to take a piece of what you earn and you got to bet on some other entrepreneurs and get outside yourself specifically. And if you look at, somebody like Warren Buffett will tell you, look, he said, all my wealth is a result of a couple things, some good genes and compound interest and living in America. So if all you do is get compound interest on your side, the game changes. You take a 19-year-old kid that's got a little job and you say, look, I want you, it sounds like a lot, but I want you to put aside $300 a month. But let me show you why. $300 a month set aside, thrown in the market. Average market return's been 8%. It's been 10% over 100 years, but most recent, 30 years, 8%. So let's say you get the average return and it compounds. That kid who starts at 19 with $300 a month can stop at 27. He's only done it for 8 years, never put another dime in. And he's only put in $28,000, but that'll grow to 1.8 million without putting another dime in. That's the power of compounding. 28 grand, 1.8 million. If his best friend starts at 27 when he quits and invests every single year all the way to 65, and he puts in the same $300 a month, he puts in 140 grand, and at the end of that time, he's got $400,000 less money. So it's not the amount of money, it's the amount of time. Time is your greatest friend here. And if you get in the game, you're going to win. And you need to get in the game now, not wait till your business is successful.
Also, if you want to have more motivation and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
You got to separate the vehicle from the outcome. What is it that's going to truly fulfill you? What is it that's going to give you that extraordinary life?
The fact that human beings, our strongest drive is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves.
What's going to fulfill you is different than the other person next to you. You're not going to learn that from anybody else. And you got to find it, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure.
And rule number 2, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is invest with David Bach.
On the game of Monopoly, you go past go and you get a paycheck. And if you just go around the properties and you land on them, you pay rent.
Right.
And you can't win the game Monopoly unless you buy 1 green home, then 2 green homes, then 3 green homes, then 4, then a hotel, right? Like you have to be an owner in the game of Monopoly. The ironic thing is that the game of Monopoly is a great lesson for all of us for life.
Yeah.
You have to own assets that make you money while you sleep, that grow while you sleep. And the challenge for most of America is that this stuff is not taught in school. My grandmother, when she started at 30, she had nothing, and she used to literally save 50 cents a week and put it in a coffee can.
Wow.
And at the end of the year, she took that coffee can down to a brokerage firm and started investing in stocks. That's what changed the entire destiny of my family.
Wow.
Was that my grandmother at 30 with no college education, working at Gimbel's department store in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, got tired of being poor. There's some people watching today that are there, right? They're listening, they're watching this or they're listening to this, and they're tired of being poor. My grandmother was frustrated. And she came home and said to my grandfather on her 30th birthday, Jack, this is not working. Like, and when you're the guy and you hear that, you're like, what do you mean this isn't working? And my grandfather said, what's not working? And she said, we're broke. We don't have any money. And, you know, to my grandmother's credit, she decided to do something about it. And so she literally brown bagged her lunch. Every day, she brown bagged her lunch so she could save that money and go invest. And the way the story turns out, Lewis, is my grandmother, my first book, Smart Women Finish Rich, was dedicated to her. She didn't become rich overnight. She built wealth over her lifetime.
Yeah.
I always say it's decades, not days. People who try to get rich quick stay broke long.
It's true.
It's like, show me those banner ads on how to get rich quick and I'll show you a way to stay poor forever.
Right.
So my grandmother realized, like, you invest in great American companies and you just keep investing and you leave it and you leave it and you leave it. And she helped me buy my first stock at age 7 at McDonald's.
Wow.
And that was 7 years old. It was like she taught me 3 lessons about money at 7 that to this day I still teach, which I can share with you.
What's that?
So at 7, we're sitting at McDonald's and she says, you know, David, you can get rich at McDonald's. And I looked at her, I'm like, Grandma, I'm eating my cheeseburger and my French fries and I have my apple pie. I said, what are you talking about? And she's like, I'm not having you getting a job here. She's like, see those people over there? They're working for what's called minimum wage. And I think back then minimum wage was like $1.
Nothing.
And she said, it's very hard to make a living on minimum wage. She said, then there's people like you right now, like all these people are coming here and they're eating and they're spending money. That's called a spender. And she said, then there's some people who own this place and owners get rich. And she said, and I love to play Monopoly at 7. That was my thing. I'd go to my grandmother and she'd play Monopoly with me. And she said, I'm going to teach you how to play Monopoly for real. And she took me home that day. She opened up the Wall Street Journal. She circled MCD. That's the symbol still to this day for McDonald's. And she said, here's how much McDonald's is. She put me in front of a television screen and said, watch the ticker tape. She taught me how to read that ticker tape. And she said, just call out the price on MCD. That's the price of McDonald's. And she said, tomorrow I'll take you down to a brokerage firm and we'll open up an account and you'll buy 1 share of that stock. And then every time you go there, you'll know you're making money from yourself.
Wow.
And that is a wow, right? And it's funny because I'm here in LA with you, but I just went to Disneyland 2 days ago with my son, who's 9. And Disneyland.
Did you buy Disney?
I bought Disney. That was my second stock.
That's amazing.
So like literally at 9, I'm at Disney with Grandma and I'm like, hey, Mickey, are you guys public? Like, you know, because she taught me to think as a child like an investor. Now, I'm doing the same thing with my kids. Now, my kids don't want to own McDonald's. They want to own Shake Shack.
Right.
So my son owns Shake Shack.
Right down the street. So
I had a brand new one, right? My younger son, after Disneyland, was like, I want to own Disney. His older brother owns Disney. It's doubled. He's like, well, I want to own Disney. My kids own Amazon. So, you know, they're learning like I learned. Now, this stuff should be taught in school. Today, this is the school, right? Like today, what we do is another way to teach people. So, but those are simple lessons I just gave you that were passed to me, and we just did that in a matter of minutes.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Warren Buffett on how to understand accounting that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. How can you become a better owner? Number 2. What's one small step you could take today to start taking action? And number 3, where do you need to make better investment decisions? And if you like this video and promise to take action after watching it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well. We don't just watch videos here, we do something about it. So give me a hashtag believe, make that promise to yourself, and then get to work.
People ask me what they should take in business school or even if they don't go to business school, what they need to know before getting in business. And I tell them, you know, you have to understand accounting. It's the language. I mean, it's like being in a foreign country without knowing the language if you're in business and you don't understand accounting. So you want to get as comfortable with that as you are with the English language. It's made me a lot of money because I listened to what Ray Dean had to say 53 or 4 years ago and have been able to understand what I was seeing on pieces of paper, what that told me about businesses, and the limitations of what it told me about businesses.
If you want to know 5 pieces of life-changing advice from monks and gurus, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.